Welcome to the live session for the NFP day. Little late here, but back on track on trading now. Back in. So we are coming at a significant day coming for NFP later today, and we will be covering the NFP here in this live session. I believe that you guys excited for the news coming up. There will be definitely some volatility. At the moment, you see the market is quite volatile, so the sideways. There isn't much stronger trend here. We can see the market is potentially moving almost in a sideways with multiple false breakout and breakdown on all direction. From the daily, we see there is a dodgy formation here. And this is going to be pretty interesting day as the market if you look at this daily price action, we can see there is a one candle range here in that area. Now in that one candle range, what you can expect a trend here. And because the market in a sideways, if you look at, there's a big drop here, followed by currently the market in a narrow range. We saw that there was a narrow dodgy formation, followed by today as well the market is in a completely sideways manner. So I'm looking at entry. Thank you very much for joining. If you guys are here, say yes, I'm ready for an entry. And looking at the gold price action that you can see from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly price action on gold, where the price tested this support, and also there's a monthly resistance. If you look at the weekly price action, also the market in a weekly range. Now previous weekly volatility was huge. We saw that there was a big bull candle has created, followed by this week so far the market didn't move much yet. So we see that there is a range in the market. So in that range, I'm looking at possible entry opportunity as after this big trending market on gold, currently we see some sideways movement in the market. So what are we looking at entry? Welcome. Welcome to the live session. And gold, as well as if we look at dollar yen, is very strongly bullish at the moment. If you look at dollar yen market is on a strongly uptrend. Welcome. And in the meantime, can you like this stream if you are here first, and make sure you also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Okay, so now looking at the daily chart, we can see dollar yen from the daily perspective, there was a breakout from here, which is a strong break to the upside on dollar yen. If you look at the weekly from here, strong breakout. Monthly price action from this support level, we can see there is a strong breakout as well. And in this strongly uptrend on dollar yen, we can look at a pullback for an entry. We'll keep on the watch list dollar yen as well as gold both. While gold is pretty wild, we see that there was a welcome. Now, first of all, looking at daily chart today, looking at the first of all calendar coming up later. Are you guys there is a NFP coming later today, and which is in my zone 12:30. We will be covering in this live session NFP, and with the NFP, because it's almost end of the week, next 2 days, also tomorrow there is another high impact news, flash manufacturing PMI. So after a long shutdown, we could see that volume back in the market. And so looking at today's level for an entry on gold, if you look at, so this is the daily support that you can see, and also the previous daily high is here. So where we are looking at an entry in this market, because the market is currently exactly at the middle of this move here. There's interesting structure has created. If you look at the 4 hour, you can spot a structure here. So this is a triangular pattern that you can see on gold, and in this triangular pattern, the market, we saw that there was a, this is the 4 hour time frame on gold, and yesterday there was a complete break to the upside. After this break below, it bounced back to this upside. After the market reached this high, which is, you guys have seen that 4132 level, there is a complete break below again, and it was a massive breakdown, back to back 2 dojis. Now if you look at, this is a big bear candle followed by another bearish doji previous session. So the market, what it is doing now is doing a lot of manipulation at the moment. So what does that mean? All right, so what does that mean? That because there is a big manipulation at the moment in the market, and it's a preparation for potentially big move later, after NFP or before NFP. So yeah, I'm looking at an entry that based on important area of value. So if you look at, that is where we are looking at, this is a resistance, and we see the market is respecting this support. Okay, so with this resistance here, there is a drop back above. So currently it's in this narrow pattern, a narrower range here that you can see in this market. And in the narrow range, what we are looking at, a retest of the daily low or daily high. And if you look at this price action, this is the today's low, and also there is a weekly low here that the market has reached in the past. But I think that with the NFP, the market might come back lower before it bounces back to the upside. Today gold test 4,3976 again. Yes, this is what we see. Do you think that the market is coming to test this 4,000 again? Today the market didn't test the 4,000. Did? No. Today's low was 4,039. 4,000 is here. But with the NFP, the market might come to retest that 4,000 level. Do you think so? And also with the NFP, is your bias of the spike bearish or bullish? Do you think that NFP is breaking that market back below, or it's gonna breaking that market back above? So I'm posting as a pool. You guys see the pool are very important. What is your bias on gold with NFP? Do you think the spike coming down or so I have shared a poll here, so you can share your opinion with the NFP, what you think the market is going to do here. It's gonna break below or it's gonna break above. Okay, let's get ready for that move coming. And if you look at here in this area, this is a very narrower range that you can see. This is the 15 minutes price action. Now in that 15 minutes price action on gold, very narrow range, right? And that range could potentially be breaking lower here, which is a rule of thumb that the market should be breaking that lower. And that's where, if the market breaks that low, if you look at it, there is a void here. And interestingly, there's a move here that today's high and low. This is today's high, 4108, till today's low, 4039. See this move here. There's one single break below with a big bear move. And then the market now maintaining this series of lower high here. So this move that you can see on gold, right? It's a complete breakdown here from this high to this low to this support. And that breakdown, later we saw a pullback. Now the market is in a sideway with series of lower high creation here in that market. And that series of lower high, if you look at, that is where the market is eventually coming back down potentially to this support level. And that's what we are looking at the lower time frame. For an entry, here quite a few times the market manipulated back to the upside. The market now eventually could reverse back again to break that low to this order block. For an entry for us, we are looking at liquidity graph from the top for a break below. Because if you look at the top of this structure, you can see that the market breaking to the upside and then getting the rejection back below. And that's where you see the market is in a downtrend in that area. So you'll be only opening in the direction of the trend when the market creates that pattern. As soon as we see that, we'll be looking at selling opportunity here in that market. That's the triangle that we are looking at the moment. And in that triangle, any break in one direction, we will be looking at selling. Are you a seller or a buyer today? So there's a poll, you can cast a vote to see which way you are looking at gold move today. Especially the market due to the NFP, we see there was a very smaller narrow range. So this is the starting point of this move. If you look at and drop, bounce, drop. So the market is maintaining this series of lower high, and it's moving in a very smaller, narrow, triangular pattern that you can see. And breaking out from that pattern could be an opportunity for us to sell the market, as it is in a narrow range. And especially the market when in a narrow range, it just keep moving in this kind of narrow range and until it completely breaks out in one direction for another move in the market. So you can see slowly it's breaking back above here, which is one directional bias in this market. So from this support level, bounce, pull back, the market may now could break to the upside here for deeper liquidity gap before it reject back again. So there is a 1 hour candle close just now, and that 1 hour candle close, if you look at after this 30 minutes bearish candlestick pattern, you can see the market now has closed another breakout candle here. Looking at the 1 hour, if you look at, there is a liquidity sweep here, back to back 2 sessions stronger manipulation. The market has formed a potentially bearish price action in that area, and I'm expecting potentially to break below in this market. Do you think so? That breaking below from this key level. This is a trend line here that you can see. Can bring that market back below here. I'm looking at potentially selling opportunity. So today's low is here, the daily low at this level 4039, narrow range. And when the market in a range, as we are progressing to December, the market might have experienced different volatility than the regular. And if you look at this trend line here, now we can see the market potentially to break that trend line. And once it breaks that trend line, we will be looking at entry. Welcome. So you can break lower 56%. Voted to be break lower. You can cast a vote to see. So with the NFP, the bias, most of the traders is lower, right? So that's what we are looking at. If you look at this market, we see that the bias here is downside. If you look at the daily, overall trend is bullish, but with the NFP, from the weekly high, you look at, there is an initial break below, and that could drop the market back below here to this weekly low. And we saw there was a significant bounce from this weekly low, and it is highly likely that the price will bounce off this level later once the price managed to come back to this half of this weekly candle, or even to this weekly low here. And therefore, before it potentially break above here for another higher high, it is a high probability that this market will come back here and then potentially to go up and retest this level. So breaking out here is a possibility for us to look for sell. So we are only looking at today for potential selling opportunity in this market. Therefore, any false breakout is where we are looking to enter. Series of lower high, and the trend line is being intact here. It's the current trend line. Okay, so if you look at, it's a complete break to the upside here in that market. And that breakout, taking that market eventually above this high. So the market reached the trend line, and so this is the daily high here that you can see in that area, and that daily high is what can be a possible selling zone that you can look at after price action confirmation. So possible sell area is here after price action confirmation. Because this is a trend line and series of lower high. Once the market break this series of lower high, it's also the daily resistance line. If you look at the ATR, there's a lower volatility here, 20 pip. So if the market break this trend line here, break this swing high, you can look for potential sell in that area. So this is the zone that I'm looking at on gold to possibly to break that high, create a price action pattern for this sell. This is also the daily resistance line. Today gold test 4,3976 again. So you are predicting that gold is going to break that level. Do you think so? Anyone with this opinion that gold is going to retest that level? So I see that quite a few vote, and most of them has cut for bias to break below on NFP. Well done. And I think so. Okay, so Patrick said no. That means you're looking at gold to then bullish. Okay, so it's breaking out of this trend line. Yes. So it's consolidating on trend line. Do you think that it's gonna be a possibility for reverse? It's on an uptrend at the moment. You want to see that trend has changed before you look for a reversal. But breaking out of this trend line is where we want to see the overextension back to the upside for potential sell here in that market. And that's what the best way to trade is, to wait for the market, thank you, overextend to certain level. That's very important to look at. Now, upcoming NFP, after 1.5, I think nearly to 2 months now, NFP is being coming. So in my zone, it's now 6:15 p.m. So we'll be 12:30 a.m. later today, and we'll be covering live the NFP in this session. And not this session, I will come on live again with another session. We'll be covering NFP, and during the NFP, we'll be taking few members to join the mentorship from this live session. So don't miss out that NFP, where you can access all my indicators, trading tools, courses, strategies, and everything. So every NFP, there are some giveaway to help you to become a better trader. There's a lot to take from here, so don't miss out that NFP session. Okay, so you see that the market now, after overextension, getting some rejection from this level here. And getting some rejection. Okay, so there is a possibility for, as the market has reached that key level, and overextension that you can see on gold is quite significant. We'll be getting into the trade. As we discussed, it got strongly rejected. I was waiting for pullback, but it didn't give any pullback. Now, if we look at the 1 hour market structure, see that quite a few 1 hour bearish price action in that area, and that is sign of downside here. Big bear candle on the lower time frame. So daily market structure is showing significantly bearish here, and that is now currently bearish on the lower time frame on the 1 minute chart as well. So there is a bearish, if you look at this move back to the upside and then straight drop down, it might form a possibly a head and shoulder and then can continue to trend back down, that we can see in a downtrend. So in this now, if you look at that, the market is in a downtrend. 15 minutes, 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other and showing the downside, and also 1 minute the market also, if you look at 10 and 20 EMA crossed over from each other. So breaking above any of this downtrending market structure on the 1 minute. So if you look at now, it's in a downtrend. Breaking out any of this market structure, where we'll be looking at selling opportunity in this market, right? You want to see that breakup structure, and I'm ready with proper risk management plan for any entry. So here we see there is a bullish fair value gap, and as the market has tested this resistance multiple times, looking at the market to with this 15 minutes close, potentially to remain bearish. And so the current swing high, there is one here, and also there is one here. So if the market breaking this swing high, with a larger ATR candle getting rejection, we will be looking to sell. So I have marked out two important swing high. Now it's in a downtrend. One swing high here, the other one swing high here, right? So swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. What we are looking at now, that any swing high, it will create, break it with a bigger ATR candle for us to look for entry. Welcome back to this live session, traders. If you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day in this session for regular analysis, updates, as well as trade ideas. How to become consistently profitable. Please help me. Okay. Good day, welcome. That's a very good, relevant question. How to become consistently profitable trader. So the first step to become a consistently profitable trader is to know that what is being consistently profitable trader. Now, if you are a day trader or a swing trader or a scalper, the first thing to become a consistently profitable trader, you need to learn that you can make 10 times more than full-time earning by trading part-time. But there is only one important criteria that you need to make sure, is that you have to be okay on being wrong as a trader. You have to be okay to take bigger win, right? Regardless of anything. Okay, so you see the market is breaking out. Then you learn a simple strategy that can give you consistency. I have a very important question. Do you want to grow your trading account consistently, or you want to be correct consistently? Okay, so you see that as you discuss, from this high there is a rejection, and you want to see the market is going back here. So we might be able to open a sell. So I'm going to open a sell here. As we discussed, that the market to break this swing high, we'll be placing the stop loss above this previous swing high with nearly to 60 pip stop loss. We'll be targeting to this level, which is 3 to 1. The stop loss here only 60 pip. It's interesting song. And So it's breaking back to the previous swing high. Our stop loss is in that area. That what I'm looking at this market to potentially to break that low. So you see back to back two swing high is broken, and the price is approaching that 1 hour resistance line and expecting a potential rejection here. If your entry is after this move back to the upside, that I would encourage to move a little bit higher the stop loss at 4070 level for any liquidity gap here. So I'll be moving the stop loss at 4070 level. Put at 4070, and what I'm expecting, guys, here that the market to potentially reflect back again. As you see, there is a swing high has been broken here, and from the bigger picture that we can see, okay, so quite a few long week candles. Are you in sell? Yes, we are on sell. We are on a sell trade. The market in a very crucial level. So you are on a sell, and this could be potentially a false breakout, and if that's where we can see there is a breakout structure, we're looking at back-to-back two swing high. If you look at is this one is broken, and looking at the market to trend back again. There is a one bear candle that has formed now here. Right, so you looking at potentially the market to trend back to the major direction. Might see a head and shoulder. what is the take profit code? So the take profit level is set at 4045.04. We might change later depending on the price action. Let's come down back below. Expecting to trend down here to little higher profit target, but successfully drop that resistance. They're looking to see the market to drop well below, and so we need a trend actually. That's what we are at. Trend is important. If the market in a sideways, you're not being able to get a very good move. But once the market start to trend, once the market break that structure, we might be able to see a significant move back below in this market. So take profit that we set at 4045.54. Welcome. By the way, guys, in the meantime, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So you are just entering into the profit area that you have taken this trade, and still on a little minus for me. Depends on when you have entered. It's a market order, but I'm looking at the market to continue to drop down back below to this support and to trend down. looking to see possible break below, and this is what I'm looking at. Ready? And if you guys enjoying, say enjoying. If you're not enjoying, then put a dislike, and if you are enjoying, make sure you like. Now patience. The next thing is patience. This trade we have opened with a very tight stop loss, but I'm not adding any position, not taking any position off, but letting it run for as much as we can see to create a new lower low here. The recent swing low is here, and crossing this low will give almost nearly to 50 pip up, and expecting to come down further back below. Awesome. Today's NFP, so you wanna take that move as much as you can. NFP is where there is a high volume in the market. We need to cross that 4058. Awesome. Coming that low here. And so crossing that previous swing low, we are up 50 pip on that. There's a 5 minutes candle close here as well. I'm still holding on to that. And for a possible, there's a bearish fair value gap here. To this level is previous support level. There's a bearish fair value gap. Looking at this market to continue to trend, and boom, we are up on these 67, 69, 71 pip, 72 pip. So at this point I will be taking 70% profit off. That means only 30% will be running for the rest of the move. So I'll be taking 0.3 lot profit off from my, the rest I'm running, and moving the stop loss at entry. So I am moving the stop loss at entry. $70. So my stop loss at entry, it's a risk-free trade. So I moved stop loss at entry. Moved SL at entry, and it's a risk-free, taken more than 60% profit, and the rest is running now stop loss at entry. So the stop loss is here. It might go up and take out of the trade, completely fine, but our goal here to run for a bigger profit target if the market manage to continue to drop back below here in that area. Because it's NFP day, the market might be very interesting today. I'm looking at this trend potentially to continue to drop back below here for new lower low. So let's see where, before the candle close, where the market is heading. And welcome. You're going with me with this. Welcome. So here almost the market is still in our favor, is still coming down, is still in a downtrend. So we'll see that with the 1 hour candle close coming later, it might slide back down because there has been significant liquidity grab at the top. But though it's a risk-free trade, our stop loss at entry, so I'm not looking at any alternative. We are running partially. If it bounces back up, we will be out. If it continues to drop, we'll hold for the rest of the move to come back well below here. At any point, the market could react back again above, which is part because the market is on the support. If the market is there is an order block has tested, so there is a possibility for that reaction again back. But if the market continues to drop to break that order block, even coming back well below, that we might see that continuation downside here in that market, which is very also quite possible to happen, as there has been significant liquidity grab at the top. So this market has enough liquidity for enough move back below to this level here. So you see multiple liquidity grab here in that area. And that multiple liquidity grab also is giving a possibility for the market to trend here back below to the support level. And with this with this green candle here, the market has crossed that high and it grabbed the liquidity. We're expecting it to break again back below. This green candle could be catalyst for another move back down here, as the market structure is highly bearish here in that area. So there is a head and shoulder being formed in that area. That might be creating a new lower low. That might be bringing the market to break that low, potentially to create a new lower low. I'm on it, guys. So we have few candlestick pattern, that 1 hour chart, if 30 minutes, that we can see quite a few rejection from this top. That's what I'm looking at. This one also to remain potentially so quite a few. If you look at here, the market trying to break this high with a one single move back to the upside. Welcome. So the market structure here is that you can see significantly downside so far. That might slide that market back below to create a new lower low. So this is our initial, when we begin the session, this is where we are at. Gbpjpy selling. I think you don't have to say that many times. Welcome. Gbpjpy selling. Dollar yen, you see there is a pullback coming. Gbpjpy. Why Gbpjpy is selling? See that it's a bull market strongly. It's gonna be selling. Okay, so here gold is, it created a narrow consolidation pattern, and that consolidation pattern might break above to break below. So normally this kind of structure in a downtrend would be that the market to break high, stop out all of them, and then to come back down. This is a narrow pin bar. Okay, so it's creating another long wick doji. That's, I think, that doji might be breaking below or above, but once it breaks below, that might be because there is a multiple liquidity sweep here in that area. That should be coming well below here for a new lower low, because if you look at one narrow red pin bar, the market has crossed this high, another one doji, and this market structure so far, you know, as a rule, it should be bearish here. So therefore, holding on to that next move until it, unless it gets one candle going up and then to drop like that. So I said just one candle going back upside. Okay, 1 hour candle closed, and look at the 15 minutes candle closed, and huge manipulation. Been out for a few pips. I think it's gonna create potentially another selling opportunity potentially if this candle creates a stronger bearish rejection again. Looking at the 1 hour, there's a 1 hour candle close. If you look, it's a bearish engulfer, and if you look at here, you can see this is one green candle rejection back below, right? So this green candle is a manipulation, and the market is now breaking that low. So that manipulation, interestingly, has given further momentum, possibly to create a new lower low here. Interestingly, the market has done exactly as we looked at, and we'll be looking at again another entry shortly after. This is NFP, guys, coming up in few hours. I will be coming on live during the NFP in our regular time. We will be trading. We have successfully closed one trade. For me, 30% gone just for 1p break even, but the rest of the position is secured, and we'll be looking for more trading opportunity in this session as well as during the NFP. There will be giveaway, so don't miss out that session coming in few hours. And I hope that you enjoyed this session. Say yes if you enjoyed. Before I end this session, I would like to see that everyone has closed your trade in profit. Can you let me know? Is your trade in profit? It's cool. It's maintaining now that downtrend. Awesome, very good, cool. That's awesome. Thank you. That being said, it's a great pleasure to see all of you guys here again, and we'll see you again in the next live in just a matter of 3 hours. Coming back, we'll be looking to trade NFP with potentially higher volatility.